Okay, can y'all hear me? Testing, testing. Is anybody still here? Okay, can y'all hear me? Testing, testing. Is anybody still here? Okay, can y'all hear me? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can I be heard? My internet just came back. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. Good to see you, sis. Elijah, can you hear me, bro? A-Snap? I'm not surprised. I broke my microphone just before I came on. I didn't get upset. Right when I was about to blow the trumpet to start my video, the internet went out. I didn't get upset. I just expect these type of things. I mean, if they happen, I don't get all bent out of shape anymore. Let me blow the trumpet real quick before I begin my video. First of all, let me turn the music off. I don't know if it's still playing or what. Okay, I don't think it's playing. So sorry about that, brethren. This must be a pretty powerful message I'm going to bring, because I don't think that powers that be wanted to get out. Well, anyway, my internet just came back up. Here I am. So let me do the best I can. Okay, brethren, can you hear me? Can I be heard? Type 1 if you can hear me. I don't know why I'm messing with my microphone. It's broken. Type 1 if you brother can hear me. Okay, type 1. Okay, thanks, Elizabeth. Thank you, and thank you for yesterday. The video let me know that I was not talking. I was cut off, and really appreciate that. And I think that that's the inspiration for part of what I am going to say on this video. I got to do some housekeeping here, so let me finish up with the screen presentation. Let me get that together. I think that more and more, as you grow, as you try to attain to the Creator, as you try to be, that sort of thing, I really believe these type of things happen. Frustrating little things to try to get you bent out of shape. I really believe that's the life of a faithist. I think that we in a situation where things like this happen, and things that are meant to dim your light. And I know in the Bible it says that the little foxes spoil the vine. And I think that it's referring to things like this. Maybe they accumulate, get on your nerves, make you bitter, make you angry, make you respond in the flesh. And you add those things up, and then before you know it, your light has totally been put out. So it seems like I find that it's important to realize things like this and the technical, even, with having a little ministry like this, little inconsequential, below the radar ministry, even with my ministry, where it's a ministry dedicated to the creator, to try to focus on the creator, try to shine light on the creator. There are not many ministries like this. I have a list of my brethren in the description area. And I think that this is part of the deal. When you're talking about a faithist, and, I think that if we didn't have anything to go through, if we didn't have like any affliction, if we had like a smooth road, nothing. Oh, hey, Elijah. Yeah, on my end, the internet went out. I'm not surprised. I was just sharing with that. I think part of your growth is when things like this happen, and it's well, I understand that technology is not perfect, but there ain't no coincidence, man. And so, right when I'm getting ready to go on, all day my computer's working fine, no problems. But why is it when I'm getting ready to do my videos, I broke my microphone. You see the light ain't on, right? I'm speaking into it just so I can keep that feel of thinking that I'm broadcasting, but really it's I think it's going in through my computer and coming out on my TV. I don't know how it works, but a microphone gives me a feel of broadcasting, so it's cool. But before I right when I got started, my microphone broke. I was trying to plug it in, and I bent the plug, and then I reached for my trumpet. I looked at the screen. It said, "You're offline, no internet connection." And I gave thanks because I didn't get all bent out of shape. I didn't get angry like I used to get. And just learn to roll with the punches, and just let the creator, let him be glorified either way, So anyway, here I am, and the internet came back up right when I was getting ready to try to shut it down. Internet came back up, and so I can have another opportunity to try to share some things with you, brethren. Hopefully I'll say something that will spark your interest, or on my channel, I try to talk about how we are different, from the world. Faithists. I try to say things. I ain't no run-of-the-mill channel, spiritual, religious channel. I think that me and my brethren, I think that these are the top channels in the whole world. My brethren that I have listed in the description box. I really believe that. I really do believe that with all my heart. That faithless brethren are by far the most important, are the channels, brethren, who are sharing the guidebook, trying to share the guidebook with other brethren. By far, no doubt in my mind that these are the most important channels on the internet. Personally, I don't like to do things like this. I don't have no need, to flap my lips. In order to get me to do something like this, it's got to be in my soul. And I've been doing stuff like this for like the last 10 years. And I was deceived. I was a racist. I was a Hebrew Israelite. I was a Christian. I had a television program in Sacramento, radio program, internet program at one point, all at the same time. And so I'm only saying that to say this, that the Creator has put something in my spirit to where it's something, and I know it's the same with you, brethren. I believe it's the same with you, brethren. You got something in you. I want to say it. I want to draw an earthly analogy because I just think it helps me to make my point. But I always, if you are familiar with this channel, I always use mostly I use the sporting analogies because at one point, it was a big part of my life. And I find a lot of good analogies, and you, brethren, have probably played a lot of sports too, you know. Uh, Hi, Omian. All right, good to see you, bro. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming in. And so I know that you, brethren, are probably the same way. We all grew up, we were into one thing or another. And so I love to draw those analogies. And in the spirit, I forgot my point. I think the point that I was trying to draw is the exclusiveness of Vedas. We are an exclusive group of people. Now, I'm not trying to sound proud. I'm telling the truth. There are there are some teams you have to beat out other people to get on the team. You got to try out and you got to what's called make the team. Now, in that situation, that ain't something everybody can do. Believe me, I know, because very few times I was able to make the team, you know. But when you make it, you feel really, I mean, you know, you feel special. And it's the same thing with the faithists. It's the same thing, man. And the world, they don't know who we are. They don't know what we are. The message we carry, the world is oblivious to it. And I think the Creator has really put it on my heart. I'm going to talk about it all the time. I'm going to talk about it all. I'm going to point out the difference between faithists and the world. I'm working on a study right now. I think I'm going to bring it out tomorrow, another PowerPoint presentation. And I'm going to just keep hitting on that one point. I'm going to hit, those are like the major points of my channel. I'm going to always talk about deity worship. I'm going to talk about idolatry because that was the biggest issue that hit me when I was born into the practical guidebook in January of this year. The biggest thing that hit me was to see brethren saying things about Jesus Christ. That was that I can't explain. I couldn't believe it, but I would listen and I couldn't refute what was being said. And it was a whole nother world for me. And I was really fortunate to be able to receive it. I was real fortunate. You brethren are too, man. That's the biggest difference between what's going on in this reality. The Creator talk about three people in the world, talk about the faithists, the Uzians, and I think it's faithists, Uzians, and world's people. And there's a difference. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to always talk about this. Faithists are on the team. They are on the team, man. Now I don't mean to, sound so vulgar and equate faithists with the world in any way. I only use that analogy to make my point. And the Creator, he does the rest from there. give you verses, give you, I get on this mic and the creator's saying, it's not you, Yaquab, it's me. I'm the one that's giving you the inspiration to say these things. Now, I'm not trying to point to myself. It ain't no benefit. I don't care much. I love what Mahalia said the other day. I still can't get over that. I love what she said, and I hope I didn't misrepresent her. I was pointing out the glory of the Creator towards the faithless and the glory that is ahead for brethren and sisters. And that sister got on and said, but you know what? None of that excite me. And it's like she tapped right into my soul, when she said that. Now, she might have been something different. I didn't give her the chance to explain herself. I thought I knew right off the bat what she meant. And that is that she has a desire for not just herself to come into a blessing. Her desire is for the whole of mankind. It's for the whole of mankind. It's for the whole of mankind. And brother, I couldn't agree with you more, man. That's when it's really good, when we're in the situation where everybody is rejoicing, like-minded, the Creator, everybody, man. Like the old saying, no child left behind. That's what the Creator teach. See, you get to a point where you say, hey, man, you know what? It ain't no good for me to just have have everything. It ain't no good, man. That's what the Creator taught me. It ain't okay, you got everything to yourself. Well, what good is it, man? I mean, really, when you think about it, don't you want to give it away? Don't you like it when you're able to do something for somebody and they get a big kick out of it? That's the part I love, man. That's the OAHSPE practical guidebook. Or when you deliver somebody. See, the amazing thing to me is, I have to be honest, man. I was going to say, and I might as well take the time now to say that, what happened the other day when I was talking for 7 minutes, and then the sister had to come on and say, Sister Weaver here had to come on and say, you haven't been talking for 7 minutes. And I had no clue. I had hit the button and I was talking. And I didn't know I wasn't broadcasting. And so after the video, I couldn't get that out of my mind, to be honest, brethren, I was saying to myself, how could my brethren do that to me? How could you let me go? It had to be because you were in here, you weren't listening, you weren't paying attention, and that's cool. That's your prerogative. And so it led me to say what I'm going to say right now. Brethren, please, man, please. You don't have to come into this room so that I don't feel bad that nobody comes in. Brethren, please, you don't have to do that, man. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. I'm not looking for fanfare. I don't care I do care if I like to have fellowship with y'all. But I'm not trying to I already knew that the Creator is not popular. I already knew that. Even before I picked up this mic and started talking about the OAHSPE. I already knew that. He has set me up for that. Brethren who are serious about the Creator, and I'm talking about who I called God in times past, I always wanted to be with the serious brethren. Whoever was for real, man, I was with you. If you for real, If you don't believe in wasting time, you don't like BSing around, Yaquab is with you. That's the one thing I can say about my life. If we can get down, man, with being like-minded about the Creator, I'm with you 100%, man. I'm with you. If you for real. So I say, if you come to my channel because you feel sorry for me, or you want to try to make me feel better, brethren, I prefer you not come to my channel at all. I wish you would not come, man. I want you to come if there's some benefit, if you're getting some encouragement. I want you to come if you want to help me take responsibility for this channel. So far as the things that go out of this channel, out of my mouth, and the running of this channel, then I crave your joining me. But man, don't come. You don't have to come to my channel. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? You don't have to feel sorry for me. I'm gonna be here come hell or high water, the Creator willing. As long as He give me energy, I'm gonna be here. So I just ask of you, don't try to make me feel good, or come here and you feel sorry, nobody comes, supports Yaquab. Hey, don't have that attitude. So far as I'm concerned, please save it. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I consider myself a servant. I consider myself, I'm just a brother, and I get a big kick out of this word. I make a lot of mistakes, but I ain't trying to get notoriety. I want to tell the truth. I assume that you, brother, you love this word like I love it. I'm assuming, since I come into this in January, the only thing that it bothers me is we are fractured, brethren. We haven't found a way to really come together. I think that the Creator, it may be His will for right now that we're not brought together like I think we should be. I think that's His will. I think He even says it in OAHSPE. But we're fractured. I think that there are, like the Bible says, some of us say I'm of Paul. Some say I'm of Mark. I'm of Peter. And there shouldn't be that type of division, man. I just don't get it. I just don't. I think that the Creator, He says that we got a responsibility to each other. So if you got a brother and he's doing this type of work, you, brethren, if you're going to come and join them, take some responsibility, man, to see that channel runs right. Any brother, don't just try to, make him feel good that, I just can't get with that, man, But if you join me, take responsibility for this room like that sister did. If something ain't right, let me know, man. Or I said something and, or I'm out of line, let me know too. Take responsibility. Now, I'm going to go and show some verses that I picked out or the inspiration gave me to share with y'all. And I think I'm going to touch on this type of thing. Now, the reading is going to be a little tough, man. Anytime you go into judgment or discipline, those books in the OAHSPE, hey, man, Yeah, it's for real, you know. And I think we've been brought up in a world where it's okay to flip off the Creator. You know, He know your heart. And the more I keep reading and I look at the world, I keep saying to myself, "Hey, man, the Creator is a serious, serious. You know, He's serious, man. He already done showed us faith is how He can leave a whole world of people behind. He can leave a whole, and they not even know it. And they not even know it. And He can leave a whole world behind. What am I talking about? Religion. I listened to a video the other day. I don't want to say who. It was a conference video. And I know them brethren. And I just had to shake my head, man. I shook my head. I said, the beast has got, they are feasting on that steak of racism, and it has got a hold on them. And I remember how good it felt to just crush white people. I remember how I had the ability, I had the knowledge, and man, you put the Bible in my hand, just like an Israelite. Good grief, man. And I took pleasure in trying to destroy the white man. I mean, I just, oh man, I lived for it. And it's only now that I'm just beginning to get rid of the last vestiges of that evil spirit. I mean, Creator really showing you how, man, that's pretty wicked what you was doing, man. You was doing a lot of damage, brother. And I was looking at that video, man, and they were conferencing on the video, and they were stuck in the beast kingdom, and He will not let them go. He will not let them go. And them brethren know me. They know the direction I'm taking. I've tried to witness, and they made it clear. Sorry, brother, you broke ranks, and you're not welcome no more. You broke ranks, brother, and you're not welcome no more. Your word ain't welcome. Your fellowship ain't welcome here. You ain't. And they saw it that way, and I saw it the way I saw it. Like, man, the beast has got a hold of you, and he ain't letting you go. And so I'm going to show you something here on the screen. I'm going to show you something. I found the scripture. Well, the Creator gave it to me. I'm going to show you a couple of scriptures first before I go into the reading. It says to try to find, can I be heard? Can y'all hear me? Type 1 if y'all can hear me. Maybe I'm not even broadcasting again and don't even know it. Can y'all hear me? Type 1. Is somebody in here? Can you hear me? Type 1. Would you type 1? Oh, okay. Thanks, Ace and Ad. Thank you. Thank you. So now I'm going to show a couple of scriptures real quick, and then I'm going to get to that one where I want you to see it. All right. Thanks, Elizabeth. I might sound different. My microphone is broken. I broke it right when I was getting ready to go live, and I don't even get triggered no more. Which you should rejoice. The less you get triggered, you're not only getting older, but you get closer to getting rid of those tetracts. The less you get triggered. So you got to love it, man. Here's a verse. It says to try to find the Creator with love and adoration instead of with a dissecting knife. This leads man to the highest road. See the simplicity of the Creator. The simplicity. He says to try to find the Creator with love and adoration. That's, instead of with a dissecting knife, picking apart a brother, man, look at your hair, man, look at your shoes, man, they don't even match, picking, you know what I mean? Finding fault with the brother, It says to trust in him while we strive to do our best. You just trust in him, man. Just try to do your best. This is good philosophy. But to lie idly and not plant our fields, blindly trusting in him to provide, this is great darkness. See, that's Christianity right there. Well, I'm going to just confess with my mouth and believe with my heart. And then what I'm going to do is hang out, and I'm going to let him just put this $1 billion in my lap. Now, I ain't going to work for it, okay? Now, I already done said the hard part. I believe in my heart. I confess with my mouth. So that's all I got to do. Now, y'all got to do the rest. That's Christianity. Now, just put my gift right here in my lap. I'll wait for it. I'm going to lay down over there. And when y'all get it, just bring it over to me. You're not planting your fields, man. You just going to blindly trust for all that blessing to come, And the Creator said, that's great darkness, man. See, the Creator, he's pointing, you plant your field, man. Till that ground, man. I gave you a world. I gave you the inspiration. I gave you a body, feet, hands, mind, soul, body, and soul. Use it. You want me doing everything? You got an opportunity now, is what the Creator is saying. And then here it says, the faith is proper. Okay, so y'all know this, but check it out. You gotta again look at this again, man. It says the faith is proper were a small minority and scattered in many lands. The rest, who were called Jews, lived on. See, look at this, man. That's what's going on today. You got the people who are Jews in Israel. You got the world who are Jews in the sense that they lived under written laws, and ceremonies, and even the Mohammedans. I don't know much about the Hindus or Persians. I categorize them as the Jews or the world's people, living under written laws and ceremonies. Now, here in this particular verse, it says, which were compiled and established by Ezra in Jerusalem and under the inspiration of Luamon, which combination of books was called the Bible, was completed in the year 2023-44 before Cosmic. Now, this is an explosive statement, man. You know that? This little statement here in the basis of the Ezra Bible and the OAHSPE guidebook, this is enough to blow up the whole world. Hey, Nazarene. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, bro. This little statement right here, this is an this is a nuclear bomb right here. Just that little old verse that don't nobody but faithists know about. I'm sorry, man. I still can't get over it. Just telling you flat to your face, man, about the Bible. Talking about the Bible like that. I'm sorry, man. Flat out telling you which combination was called the Bible. Creator said, under the inspiration of Luamon. I'm sorry, man, but that just keeps knocking me flat, man, because when I go out in the world, and then sure enough, man, the Creator gonna run me into a Christian. I don't even have to do it. I just can mind my own business. And I made a covenant with the Creator. Y'all remember? I know y'all know. I talk about it all the time, when I had that blow up with my cousin in front of my brother, which killed me, man. My flesh and blood brother. And he, you know how that should, spiritual people shouldn't be arguing in front of someone who is, letting you talk to them. You shouldn't be, even between different faiths, they ought to know better than that, to show the world that. You know how, like, your parents, when they were getting ready to argue, they would tell you to go outside, or they would go upstairs to the bedroom. See, they understand that the children should not be witnessing certain things. So my cousin, and I couldn't keep him calm down, and he, end up making me get in the flesh, and so after that I said, that's it. That is it, man. That's it. I ain't bringing up the OAHSPE to nobody. They got to start it. They have got to start it. They got to start it, man. I say, because from now on, OAHSPE ain't saying nothing, and I think I said a lot of that out of the flesh. And, and then it's like the creator said, all right. I said, yeah, did you angels hear what OAHSPE said? All right. So from now on, when he go to his appointments at the hospital, or whether he just out in the street, and you send somebody to him, make them open their mouth, all right? And make that brother say something and share my light. Because from now, he said he going to clam up. And that ain't my will. And so I always find myself, I'll be in a corner, and someone will end up, hey, brother, do you know you're in the corner over there? And by the way, man, I wonder what God is up to, It's ever since I made that covenant, man, ever since I made that covenant. Now, here go the verse right here. See? The beast kingdom, man. This is the dog. See? And I was looking for this the other day, too. The dog, man, the grip, man. The grip. The beast kingdom got a grip. And I found it. The creator, he let me find it. And I was looking for this verse. I couldn't find it. Then I found it. I was looking for this account. And it talks about Utea, who was a false god. Jumping in the middle here, it says Utea, and he was getting stripped of his kingdom. I think that's the account in Osiris here, Book of Osiris. Osiris was shining that light on him about the evil of his ways. He couldn't take it. It said, Utea, struggling, said, alas, fair angel, these were my slaves. Talking about his worshipers. The hardest blow of all is their acknowledged love. The fire of the throne of Osiris was tame compared to this. For hundreds of years, I gave these creatures pangs and wretchedness. And now they give me love. Poor idiots. I cannot drive them away. Now, it's the same way in the world. This verse going on in the world right now. Even though a Christian sees we over there bombing the hell out of people, really saying that that's Christianity. Do you know that that's what we saying? We showing the world this what Christianity is. We go, we bomb the hell out of people, in the north and the south. In Ukraine and the Middle East. And we talking about, in God we trust. And the world, they look at, we sitting up here saying we a Christian nation. See? And then people don't even have enough spirituality to see what's going on. And it's saying it here. They still confess. They can, even though we doing all these things, they confess their love. You know, one guy told me, he said, hey man, look, he said, just don't ever ask me to leave Christ. You know? He said, hey, look, man, don't just one thing, you know. Don't ever ask me to leave Christ. The brother was already in jail. You already in jail. You ain't got enough sense to think your God couldn't even keep you out of jail. Matter of fact, you love him even more now. See? And that's the way affliction works. We bomb the hell out of people. And then people start running to the church. You know, over here in America, let a 9/11 happen again. Oh, you know what? And by the way, if there's any of you brethren in here, now I know I'm going to sound kooky. Let me digress for exactly 3 minutes, okay? I'll show you something. I got a video here. Now, I know it's going to sound kooky, okay? So let me just get that out the way. I'm sounding kooky, okay? I understand that, okay? I'm going to tell you anyway, though. Now, you probably can't see the screen, so I got a video here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it so I can tell you where to find it. Now, this is a video that shows you how there were no planes involved on 9/11. How do you like that? Can anybody hear me? There were no planes involved on 9/11. How do you like that? Loss of life. Did I blow somebody's mind? Have I blown anybody's mind by saying that? There were no planes involved on 9/11. Now, here is where you can look at the video. All right. This brother did a video 4 hours long, and he spilled the beans. Now, this ain't really a place for a Faithist Bible study, but I'm going to share this with you anyway. Now, I'm in the process of typing it into the chat. So if you want to see the evidence, then this is what you can do. I'm typing it into the chat now, so just bear with me. This is what it was called. It was called No Planes on 9/11. Okay. Now, if you, YouTube rejected the comment. How do you like that? They won't let the comment go. How do you see that right there? Tell you it's the truth. I got something on my screen. It says, YouTube rejected your comment. This usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit. Hi, Mahalia. How you doing, sis? Good to see you, sis. I was talking about you earlier. How do you like that? I was just trying to share. I was digressing for a moment. And I was trying to put in the chat a link where people go on this platform right here. I can get around it. Because I want you, brethren, to see the deception that we live under. I want you to see it, man. You know, I mean, you should be able to realize that we are able to be deceived, because that's what movies do. the cinematography. And if you're willing to look at that video, man, you will see the depths of Satan, meaning the things that the powers that be can go through to deceive you to accomplish political ends. Now, that's the name of the platform. It's called BitChute. And if you go there, type in, now I'm probably going to get a strike for this now that I think about it. Type in no planes on 9/11. No, type that in to this channel right here. Type in no planes on 9/11. And there's a video. I'm surprised they haven't scrubbed it. Because this guy he did a deep dive for your behind. And it should show you how we are able to be deceived. The guy has got all kinds of forensic information that you'll more than likely never hear. Now, I'm only just talking about this sort of thing to show you the depths of deception. Now, I was talking here about this verse and how people, they won't give up the beast. We see the account of Utea. All the people he deceived, and they would not let him go. And when he saw the love they had for him, how they wouldn't let him go, he says here, for hundreds of years I gave these creatures pangs and wretchedness, and now they give me love. Poor idiots, I cannot drive them away. And so sobbing, Utea bowed his head, for such great truths turned all his judgment into the darkness of his past deeds and wickedness, even while crowding close on every side. The 50 million, these are all the people he deceived. They kept up their ceaseless assurances of endless love, nor was there any way to open. There was no way open to escape from their ignorant jargon and foul breath. So when Yesta saw how helplessly Utea had given up, she raised her hand, saying, what shall I do, O Jehovah? So Yesta, who is a daughter of Jehovah, is coming to help me because he's regretting that he's led so many people astray like the beast kingdom, and they still loved him. You know? They were saying, but we love you. But really, Utea was saying, but I'm false. I deceived you. I hurt you. And they were saying, but we love you. I could digress for a second in trying to qualify what that's like when, like give an example of like a relationship where maybe this guy, he likes this girl, but she likes this guy who, he's always in and out of trouble, and he would be so much better for her, but it ain't nothing you could do, man. She like him. There ain't nothing you could do about it. And it's killing you that you can't get her attention. But it's like she loves something that is not good for her. You can't do anything. It's just like that's what's going on. That's going on in the world. You brethren, you live in that. The beast kingdom, man, that dude told me, hey, man, dude, whatever you do, I ain't leaving Jesus Christ. I ain't going to leave Jesus Christ. He said, I don't care what you say or do, man. I ain't leaving him. Exactly what's going on in this verse right here. And people are, you know what? I'm not telling you, brethren, anything new. You already know all this. I'm sorry, but it's still a shock to me. Time for the reading of the word. So let me try to show you, try to share a couple of verses, and then you stop the video. Here's one I liked right here. or, brother, you should check it out. When you think that all your efforts are fruitless, when you think that you're not making no progress, you should think about this verse right here in the Bible. It says, he that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. So that's faithful to the principles of the Creator, if you ask me. He said, look, what is the old saying? Sorrow at night, but joy cometh in the morning. For you faithless, you endure. You will not regret it. It's what the Creator is saying. You endure. You endure your reality. How much you want to bet you won't regret it? How much you want to bet? Lay your money down, man. You want to bet against the Creator. He says, you'll come back, man, with a harvest. Doubtless, you'll come, rejoice, jumping up and down, getting off work, man, jumping up and down and rejoicing. I like the way he puts it. All spiritual growth lies in giving out the Spirit. Who can interpret that? Give out your spirit, man. That's why I like to pray out front in the video, at the end of the video. That's giving out the Spirit. Creator said to do it. Give out the Spirit. Give it out, man. Not in a showy type of way. Let people know you believe in the Creator. That's what faith is supposed to do. So I'm going to run a little fast here because if you want to stop the video, just look at these prayers. You can do that. So it's time for the reading of the word. You can stop the video. And again, I'm going to say it again, man. I'm not up here. I'm not up here on these videos to make us look like the world. I'm up here to expose that we are different than the world. We are not the same. We are not trying to shut anybody out from joining with us, but we ain't the world. Faithists are the most, I'm telling you, they're the most, what's a good word for special, blessed people in this reality. Future gods and goddesses. The world can't handle that. Don't care. Laugh. So let me go for the reading of the word now. And it's time for the reading of the word. A little late. All right. So the name of the video is May God Help Us, man. Please, may God help us, man, because what I'm going to read, Creator, he gets down, man. He gets down, man. He tells you, man, look, don't play me for a fool. Don't play me short, man. You'll regret it. Now, I know I love y'all. You call you my children. I called you out of the beast kingdom. But you got a personal responsibility to one another. We got a responsibility to one another. That's why I was saying earlier, man, if you come on my channel, take responsibility for this channel, man. Don't try to come on and, you want to make me feel good. Let me know that, you down and you with me, or I'm not looking for that. I crave your fellowship, but I'm not trying to be popular. I'm gonna be doing these videos even if nobody watches. So take responsibility, y'all. I got on the subject because the other video, I was talking for 7 minutes and nobody but the sister let me know. Sister Weaver. And it was very vexing to me. I didn't understand how that could happen without somebody letting me know what's up. 7 minutes. I had hit the button on my mic and cut myself off. Didn't know it. Brethren creators say, this ministry is yours too. You're responsible, as I am, to see to it that it run. We got to take responsibility. Matter of fact, I'm ready to read something too, where the creator, he says something like, don't be a spectator. Don't you be a spectator, man. You find a way to fit in and contribute. That's what he said. I'm ready to read it. Watch. May the creator bless the reading of his word. Is somewhere in one of these chapters. He says, God, ambassador, let me make it bigger, screen bigger. I'm not trying to sound harsh, brother. Believe me. Ain't no benefit in that at all. But I want to let you know, man, if you want to come and have fellowship, do it for the right reasons. Don't do it for vain reasons or, you're not going to hurt my feelings. You don't come around. I ain't going to have a grudge or anything. But if you do come around, man, help me take responsibility for the things that happen on this channel or the things that escape my notice or whatever. Now, may the creator bless the reading of his words, chapter 2, judgment. It says, God, ambassador of Jehovah, he says, you shall assemble for the communion of angels regularly and maintain intercourse with them. For in no other way can you demonstrate the immortality of the soul, which is continued life of the spirit. Doing this in the name of Jehovah for spiritual light in regard to spiritual things. Whoever consults the spirits for earthly things shall fall into darkness. See, we live in a reality where we're famous for that. Mediums and, people always trying to look into, the future, the lottery numbers. And it says, but when you assemble, let no man or spirit be there it is right there. There it is right there. When you assemble, let no man or spirit be a spectator to others. It says, but as all men labor in the field to gather the harvest, so shall all members in the assembly by prayer or by music contribute a glory to the Father. So it's like he's saying, you don't just sit back and you contribute some type of way. If you come in this channel or another brother's channel, take responsibility for something. You see something that needs to be brought out or some correction that needs to be made. You make it. Take responsibility, man. Christianity is where you can just sit and be entertained and be fed and take no responsibility. And there's no salvation in that. Creator said, but when you assemble, let no man or spirit be a spectator to others. But as all men labor to in the field to gather a harvest, we all got to labor together and gather the harvest. Remembering that the humblest prayer, even with weak words, if given with a full heart, is as strong to Jehovah as the best oratory. From all men, the Spirit shall pour forth to the Father in praise, according to what has been created to it, nor is more required of any man. But this shall happen to many. Learning to speak by transmit or by inspiration, they shall imagine themselves controlled by certain angels, when in fact it is only their own spirit, eliminated from the corporeal senses. Others being influenced shall imagine. Read that again. It says, but this shall happen to many, learning to speak by entrancement or by inspiration. They shall imagine themselves controlled by certain angels when in fact it is only their own spirit eliminated from corporal senses. You brothers see what the Creator seems to be saying here? He's saying that it's like he's saying when you what's a good word for purpose? When you purpose to speak in the light of the Creator says we may imagine that we're controlled by certain angels. And now I'm bringing this out because that's what I think sometimes. I think that, well, maybe I'm controlled by a certain angel. And the Creator says, when in fact, it is only their own spirit eliminated from the corporal senses. So it's like, same with you, brethren, too. You may be talking and sharing with somebody. You may think that it's angel inspiration. I mean, like something outside of yourself, but really it's you. And you're separating, you're dividing your physical from the spiritual from the physical. Now, it's like a miracle takes place here. It's like an out-of-body experience where you're speaking spiritually, but you're not speaking corporally. You're speaking spiritually. It's like a mystery. It says, others being influenced shall imagine it themselves, and not an angel, whereas it is an angel speaking through them. This was the case of KU, Confucius. Both are good and shall be practiced. The Creator is acknowledging two types of people here. There's some people, they speak, they think that, it's an angel, and there's some people who speak and they imagine that it's them and not an angel. But it is an angel. So it could be one or two things when you're speaking. It could be angel inspired or, you inspired and not an angel. And, and the Creator says both are good. Both types of people are good, He said, let no man concern himself as to whether it is the spirit of himself or an angel. The Creator say, don't worry about it. You're minded to speak in glory and, give the light out. Don't worry about the inspiration, where it come from. Word is only the subject uttered, which is of value. In this day, all things shall stand on their own merit and not on the supposed authority. And let him who speaks with his own spirit not judge others to be the same, nor yet the reverse of this. For no two in all the world are alike. To those who have not experienced elimination of the spirit self from the corporal self, all speech is believed to be of the corporal senses. Only of a disease condition. I didn't read it right. It says, to those who have not experienced. See, now this is going to be one of them tough reads right here. This is going to be a hard read. Let me warn you, man. If you think about this. It says, to those who have not experienced elimination of the spirit self from the corporal self, all speech is believed to be of the corporal senses only, or of a disease condition. Now let's look at this again. I mean, because this kind of shakes me up. It shakes me up, And I'm up here speaking this word, and I have not experienced Now, see, this is the rub right here. I don't know how you tell if you eliminate the spirit self from the corporal self. I don't know how you do that. Creator says, if you have not experienced elimination of the spirit self from the corporal self, all speech is believed to be of the corporal senses only, or of a disease condition. Now, I think the separation means to be able to have an out of body experience, like Dave when he talks about going to Yatante from time to time. I tend to think it's talking about that. I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It says to those who have not, I haven't experienced that type of situation where, like Dave, he goes to Yatante. That's what this sounds like to me. Now, I don't know. I could be wrong, you brother. I'm sure you probably know. It says to those who have not experienced elimination of spirit self from the corporal self. All speech is believed to be of the corporal senses only or of a disease condition. So it's saying another thing too. A person who hasn't experienced this type of spirit self separation, you may think in your mind it's of your corporeal senses only. When you read this word, you may think it's of your corporal senses only. That's another way to look at this. Or you have a disease condition because you're not able to do what other brethren can do. You may think that about yourself. And then it goes on, it says, such men are not to be blamed for their interpretation. Rather, you shall pity them and not answer them. Now, that's the problem. That's what bothers me. The Creator, he doesn't fault brethren who don't. I mean, now see, let me say it again, man. This spirit self-elimination is what I don't understand fully. I tend to think it's like brethren who say things like they've had out-of-body experiences. To me, it sounds like it's talking about those brethren. And I can't testify of having that type of experience. I can't testify to that. And so the Creator's saying, I'll tend to think that it's only, someone like me will tend to think that all speech is believed to be of the corporal senses only or of a disease condition. You may feel that about anybody or about yourself. But the part that's very worrisome, he says, such men are not to be blamed for their interpretation. He says, but rather you shall pity them and not answer them. That's the part that bothers me. What exactly does that mean? What exactly, I would like to know, does that mean? Why are they not answered? People who may have a faulty conception of elimination from the spirit self. They have a faulty conception. Why do you say don't answer them? Maybe we'll get the answer as we read. It says, for many such, even after death, will not admit they are dead because of the darkness upon them. So now we're reading that there are people who have not experienced elimination of the spirit. Now, see, this is a touchy thing right here, brethren. I would love if somebody would like to comment on this. I would love it, man. What you think? Now, you could be reading the word. I would think you could be reading the guidebook and come under spirit self separation from the corporal. Is what I tend to think, that by you reading the word, that is one form of separating from the corporal self. And it says, to those who have not experienced elimination, and I would venture to say people who have not been exposed to the guidebook to attain to the Father's voice that is speaking in them, they have not been able to experience the elimination of the spirit self from the corporal self. and thus they think all speech is believed to be of the corporal senses only or of a disease condition. But the Creator, he says, such men are not to be blamed for their interpretation. Rather, you should pity them and not answer them because they have not experienced elimination of the spirit self from the corporal self. Have not experienced. Now, again, I'm saying again, the highest light that I have is that you will experience elimination of the spirit self from the corporal self. And that is the word, it's the light of the Creator that does that. That's my highest light on the subject. That's what I see the inspiration seems to be telling me what this means. And then it says, for many such, even after death, will not admit they are dead because of the darkness upon them. So there's another element the Creator gives us an understanding that verse. They're in darkness. They don't admit that they are dead. They don't know that they are dead because they're under darkness. It says, it is wiser for the spiritual minded to keep to themselves. That's another thing that's, man, that's a bit heavy, if you ask me. I mean, I read this, I was thinking, is he saying that, maybe I shouldn't do videos anymore? Is he saying that? Is he saying like, okay, you get it. Now, just keep it to yourself. Is he saying it is wiser for the spiritual minded to keep to themselves, especially when communing with Jehovah and his angels? For a greater wonder, look at that. It is wiser for the spiritual minded to keep to themselves, especially when communing with Jehovah and his angels. Now, I don't think that he's saying that those who are, what's a good word for, inspired to share and to teach should keep quiet. I don't think he's saying that. But I believe he's saying something in verse 13 here. And I think it has to do with communing with Jehovah and his angels. But how do you know when you're doing that? For a greater wonder than these will follow. Some will enter the trance of the first resurrection and go in spirit out of the body, but only subjectively. Others will enter the trance of the second resurrection and go in spirit out of the body objectively. How do you like that? So it's like saying some people, they go because they know how to have their mind take them here, or like Yatante, the meeting place, the heavenly meeting place where all kinds of spirits and grades gather. Dave said it was a place of teaching and learning. And he says some people, they go there subjectively. He said others will enter the trance of the second resurrection and go in spirit out of the body objectively. And it's like objectively, it's like, what's a good word for? I don't know. It's hard to translate this. There's a difference we see between subjectively and objectively. Subjectively is more, isn't that more where imagination based? And objectively is more information based. It's more empirically based, if that's a good word. Experientially based. Maybe that doesn't work. And the first shall not believe the second was other than like himself, going only subjectively. So the first resurrection, objective or subjective. Second resurrection, objective. So I'm trying to find a good way to translate this. I can't bring up any. It's like some people, the first resurrection or yatante, I would think is talking about here, where you go out of your body. Some go out objectively, some go out subjectively. So we got two things here. Some will enter the trance of the first resurrection. Maybe I shouldn't harp on this too long. Just trust that inspiration will give you brother's understanding. I think it'll be better for me to just read and get it later and then share it. Some will enter the trance of the first resurrection and go in spirit out of the body. They go into a trance, they go out of the body into the first resurrection. But it's because more, it seems, their mind, their will, their subjectivity. It said others will enter the trance of the second resurrection. And they will go in spirit out of the body objectively. That's like with a purpose in mind, with a conclusion of something, objectively, objective. And the first shall not believe the second was other than like himself, going only subjectively. So the first trance is going to believe that's the way it's done with everybody. For I've created like no two men in all the world, says Jehovah, even after death. Many are not capable of entering the second resurrection objectively. He who is in a subjective state speaks and writes from the earth, looking upward. He who comes of the objective heaven speaks and writes as one coming down from my kingdom to the earth. So that's an interesting thing, ain't it? He who is in a subjective state, it's like he imagines, he conjures up, what's a good word for, he internalizes from a biased standpoint things, spiritual things. And he who comes of the objective heaven speaks and writes as one come down. So it's like he's more certain, it seems, the objective spirit that speaks and writes. He comes, it's like he's more authoritative. I could be wrong. I'm just trying to, just lay a little foundation for someone to be able to handle this verse, to think about it, a way in which to think about what we're reading here. It says two conditions will manifest. Subjective spiritualists will affiliate with the world's people, being deniers of the ever-present, and they will pursue earthly vocations for self's sake. Okay, so we're talking about spiritualists in a sense here. There's two kinds. There's the earthly and there's the objective and there's the subjective. Spiritualists, it says two conditions, people who are spiritual, not necessarily Uzians. People, the world's people who are spiritual, there are two conditions will manifest. Subjective spiritualists, that means they have more of a imagined perception of things. It says two conditions will manifest. Subjective spiritualists will affiliate with the world's people, being deniers of the ever-present person, and they will pursue earthly vocations for self's sake. So this kind of helps to explain this reality. You got people in the world, they're spiritual, but they don't subscribe to the OAHSPE guidebook. But they're spiritual. They talk spiritually, you talk about God, talk about heaven, talk about esoterical things, but they are subjective. You know what I mean? It's like they make up what their spirituality is. And there are people like this in the world. They don't believe in the ever-present, in Jehovah, in the sense that don't receive the OAHSPE. They're subjective spiritualists, and they affiliate with the world people, and the world people hears them. You'll get a bigger audience with a subjective spiritualist than you will with an objective spiritualist. Because he's an objective spiritualist is like someone he's more his understanding is what's a good word for? Matter of fact, this is what I should do. Get the definition. Yeah. Let me look at the definition. That'll help. The objective meaning of a person or their judgment. Not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering and representing facts. Okay, so there we have our difference. Objective is someone who is not influenced by personal feelings or opinions. That's what Daryl talks about all the time when he comes in here. Not influenced by personal feelings or opinions. It is what it is, according to what they know. Okay, objective. Now, let me see if I can find my way back to... Okay, objective heavens. He who comes of the objective heavens speaks and writes as one come down from my kingdoms of the earth. So the objective spiritualist, he speaks as to what he has. Let me see, is that the right way to say it? It's like he's more exact as to, he's not biased in his thinking. It is according to like reading a book as opposed to just making something up according to your feelings and imaginations. And so the creator is saying that the subjective spiritualists, the world has a lot of subjective spirituality, whereas what people think, they can resonate with the world can hear them, it's the principles are really the lines are real blurred. Anything can go kind of like and pass for esoteric understanding, but objective is more streamlined thinking, and I would say reality based, if that's a good way to put it. So we got the subjective and the objective. Those who live for the ever-present person, Jehovah, they will not worship him only in words, but they will abjure self and unite themselves in brotherhoods. These latter are the chosen people of the Father of the cosmic era, the objective people. These latter are the chosen people of the Father of the cosmic era, and they will become supreme in all the world. I'm not saying that, from what I can see, subjective spiritualists are not faithists. I'm not saying that. I'm just, from what I can see, Faithists are made up of objective and subjective brethren, but I know the world falls under subjective spiritualists because they put their own meaning into what spirituality is, really, without proof. If that makes any sense. That's the type of world we live in. A lot of people, they make spirituality what they believe it is because that's what they feel it is, that sort of thing. So I don't know. I hope that makes sense somehow. The latter being the objective are the chosen people, the Father, the cosmic era, and they will become supreme in all the world. These three peoples, the world people, the believers, and the faithists, have existed in all ages of the world. Of them all, only faithists practice harmony, good works. Both of the others are resistance, quarrelers, warriors, disintegrators, and breakers down of all things. So faithists are marked by certain characteristics. Yet the faithists, having faith in the all person, shall ultimately possess the whole earth and make it a paradise of peace and love. As the first is bound in the flesh, subjective, and as the second is bound by the hated spirits. Okay, the first resurrection, second resurrection. The first is bound in the flesh, and the second is bound by the hated spirits. So is the faithist bound to Jehovah, which is freedom, emancipation. As the second can commune with the spirits of the first resurrection, so can the faithist commune with the Father through the second resurrection. Nevertheless, this shall happen. The second shall say, my angels are high, yours are low. Or they shall ask, how do you know your light is higher than ours? And the faithist shall answer them, saying, we know no high, no low. We give up all things in order to serve Jehovah by doing good works to our fellows. And Jehovah shall judge between them as to which is high or low, not by their words, but by their works. And the signs of good works and self-abnegation shall be like a witness before the world, as to where the inspiration of each comes from. Let no man say that only peers, prophets, and those persons who work signs and miracles are under the influence of spirits, for even as much as these, so are the other mortals under the dominion of spirits. Yes, the infidel, the disbeliever, the philosopher, the lawyer, the judge, the preacher, the fanatic, and all others are more controlled by the spirits of the dead than by their own personal spirit. And the more a man's spirit is wrapped up in his own corporality, the more he is subject to vampires and spirits of darkness. Nor does the philosopher know when his ideas come from Jehovah or from spirits of the dead. Whoever is witness and knows in truth that he has seen spirits of the dead, that knowledge is impregnable. That knowledge is impregnable. Meaning beyond doubt, irreversible, undeniable, irrefutable, indestructible, permanent. Now, faithists, let me see, Elizabeth's got something. She said, subjective is, what is your favorite color? M, and objective is, it is a basketball. It is round and it is orange. Let me chew on that for a second. I see your point. One is a fact, and another one is subjective. It's what you, based on your feeling, is based on your personal proclivities, I think would be a good word. It's without reason. It just is what it is, subjective. Yeah, thanks, Elizabeth. I see your point. Objective is it a basketball? It is a basketball, and it is round and it is orange. Because in our reality, it's been described. So where we don't have to introduce our own inspirations into what is. I get your point. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well. But I do know that the world is filled with subjective spiritualists. I do know that. I mean, it's a very, very powerful drug. People love to talk about the unseen, and they introduce all their own ideas, and the more spookier, the more mystery they sound, the more people gravitate to it. You know, I'm telling you, man, that is a very, very strong aphrodisiac, is subjective spiritualism. When you can talk to people about things that can't easily be proven, that is one quick way to, well, may not be quick, but you can deceive people. Subjective spirituality, because it's not easily proven. Crazy says, whoever is witnessed and knows the truth that he has seen the spirits of the dead, that knowledge is impregnable. And whoever has entered the second resurrection, even though in mortality, well, you can enter the second resurrection, and even as we are right now, even though in mortality, that knowledge is impregnable. So the second resurrection is community, is like-minded group of brethren working together to serve one another. That's talking about faith. This witnessing and knowing that he's seen spirits of the dead. Now, this is kind of tricky right here, because we see spirits of the dead every day. You, brethren, you see spirits of the dead every day. When you see people who cannot attain, they cannot hear the Creator, they can't testify of it, they can't be inspired, they cannot, what's a good word for, conduct themselves in a way that is influenced by the Creator, you are looking at spirits of the dead. Now, I know how faithists feel. They don't like to sound judgmental or anything, but the fact of the matter still remains. When it says here in verse 24, whoever has witnessed and knows in truth that he has seen spirits of the dead, that knowledge is, like it says in a footnote, it is beyond doubt, irreversible, undeniable, irrefutable, indestructible, permanent. And I know that where I live, I know, and it's an amazing thing too. I live in a city that is known for its cemeteries. The city I live in is known for its cemeteries. I can literally pick up a rock and throw it behind my apartment, and I can land it on the cemetery. A lot of famous people buried back there too. I could throw a rock, and I'm not embellishing. I could literally throw a rock and hit the wall of the cemetery behind me. Every night around 2 or 3 in the morning, I always hear what sounds like hyenas and voices. Strange, and I'm telling you the truth, man. So it's not even weird to me anymore, you know. If anything, it testifies to me the reality of the spirits of spirits. Every night around 2 or 3, maybe not every night, maybe give or take, 3 or 4 nights, I'll start hearing these sounds, and it sounds like hyenas. I mean, right behind me, and noises like that. And I'm used to it now. But when you go out, you see spirits of the dead every day. You brethren, you see them, man. These people are, I'm telling you, I don't like to sound harsh. They are dead. When you cannot attain, when you can't respond to life, when you can't respond to words of life, you are dead. At least at that moment in time until such time you are able to respond, then brother, you are dead. And that's irrefutable knowledge. So it says that whoever has entered the second resurrection, even though right now, immortality, that knowledge is unmovable, irrefutable, impregnable. But whoever has found the all person, his knowledge is greater than all. And none below him can judge him. Neither can any man attain to his knowledge till he has passed through the other two conditions. So that's part of our growth, is being able, number one, to, let me go back. Neither can any man attain to this knowledge till he has passed through the other two conditions. And I would think he's saying the other two conditions is the objective and the subjective. Those are the other two conditions before he can find the all person. Now, I could be wrong about that. I'm trying to think. I'm out of time, so but I can't rush and answer. I need time. A lot of times when you read like this, it's sometimes kind of hard because you can't give a quick answer. So I can't really think. I want to break this down more, but I'm out of time. Neither can any man attain to this knowledge till he has passed through the other two conditions. So I see a growth, a progression for Faithus. And it makes sense. You know, you got like self-knowledge, and then you got like empirical knowledge. And I think you have like practicing and, you know, so it's, well, now I got to start coughing, right? So it mentions two other conditions here before we can attain to the all person. Whoever has found the all person, his knowledge is greater than all. And I have to tell you, man, you know, when you brethren, you got to know this. You got to know that when you talk to people that they're ignorant. I don't like to sound harsh, but whoever has found the all person, his knowledge is greater than all. See? No man knows the Creator unless he is proven the communion of spirits. Neither can any man rise to the second resurrection till he is risen to faith in the all one Jehovah, nor shall the Brahmin, Mohammedan, Buddhist, or Christian join in the second resurrection on earth or in heaven, for they do not have the doctrine of unit. Their colonies and communities shall fail in all cases. There shall be only one doctrine, which is Jehovah, the all person who is ever present, with good works done to others, with all of one's wisdom and strength. And this shall prevail with the young, whom as orphans and castaways you shall gather up in infancy, founding them in the light of Jehovah, teaching them from the start to sing and pray to him in reverence, fear, and joy, so that he may be glorified in their purity and good works, and they shall be of all nationalities and races growing up, not knowing this is the time, or that is mine, or that is yours, but understanding that they own nothing and that all things are Jehovah's. And that will conclude the reading of this word, brethren. Thank you for joining me and the Creator for letting us read this, and so that we can match the things that we have learned, and we can look at the reality that we live in, and we can see the truth of the Creator, that he's showing us that, you know, we in the reality were, you know, we need knowledge, man, to serve the Creator. You know, we need to be able to see the Creator, see his truth in the world we live in people, and know where we stand, in the sense that, you know, one of the points we made tonight in the reading was that there's subjective, there's objective, and it mentioned being able to see the spirits of the dead. That's what touched me. because you could tend to think everything's all esoteric and everything is after we, born in the spirit, we leave the earth. Not so. The Creator said that you can enter the second resurrection while right here in this mortality. How can you do that? By picking up with brethren, taking responsibility, being part of a like-minded brotherhood. That's the second resurrection, working towards a common agenda, which is to try to figure out a way to serve one another, to try to minister, to be a minister to one another. You can do it your own type of way, in your own reality. That's the whole thing right there. See, we're a minority. We read that earlier. Y'all remember that? It called us a minority. Thank you, sister, for joining me. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to say it. I'm going to just keep saying it. I got like 2 or 3 tenets, man, principles for his channel. I'm going to talk about deities and idols. I'm going to talk about the difference between faithists and the world, and that is something to be attained to. I'm going to talk about our purpose, that we're in the womb, and we're supposed to be trying to, we're supposed to, so I'll just tell you, brethren, right now, I'm going to always talk about one of those 3 things. Everything else is just icing on the cake. I'm going to always talk about the difference between faithists and the world, because we ain't like the world. We don't come from, we in the earth, but we ain't of it. And I don't want us to forget about that, because we trying to run a race here in the sense that we got an opportunity to create ourselves. We got an opportunity, I want to say this for our close, man. Well, let me put the link in the room too, in case one of y'all want to come on and say something. Please feel free. I'll hang out for like a couple more minutes. So let me put the link in the room. Maybe y'all want to say something. I got to say it again, man. I got to say it again. I looked at that video. The brethren were gathered together. I came from that group, and I just shook my head, man. They were engaging in subjective esotericism, where you say things like, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and you don't really prove it. You just say, this is going to happen, this is due to happen. There's a lot of weird things in the world, man. This portal's supposed to open, that gate is supposed to open, we're in the time where, now we're going to see this happen and that. A bunch of esoteric stuff with no proof, no way to prove, not even the smallest amount of proof. And the whole world is engaged in that. I feel like this time is the time, and this is the time we're going to get payback, and their kingdom is fallen, and we're going to rise up, and it was all what we talked about tonight. It was subjective spiritualism. When you speak of the earth, you speak of the things of the earth, man. That's what the Creator said it is. That's one way we can tell, we can differentiate our world. We can know who we are. We can know who they are. Not that we want to look like we're better. But the Creator, He telling us, you need to know the difference between you and them. You and them. This is where you're headed. This is where they're headed. Remember, we read, and I'm going to talk about this too, man. I'm going to make sure that we're Zarathustrians. You already are. I'm going to talk about the laws, the rites, and the ceremonies till we're blue in the face, man. I want to make sure that we are Zarathustrians through the word. I'm going to read it. I'm going to be redundant. I'm going to talk about it. And so, is Creator willing, He'll help me, because non-Zarathustrians, the Creator said, are a brick in the wall. He said they're a brick in the wall, man. That's what he said. He said Zarathustrians, and you brethren are already Zarathustrians. You know, you subscribe to the Divine laws, and you know, and the Creator, he said, Zarathustrians are on the path to godhood. See, that's our reality. What has this world got? All they can do is look forward to the next football game. That's all the world got. Do you know that? Do you know that? That's all they got, man. The next party. Something to look forward to. P. Diddy's in trouble. You know, what's the latest on him? You know, that's all they got. Always looking forward to the next thing, you know, gossip, you know, vicariously living through somebody else's downfall. I'm telling you, man, that's all they got, man. That's all. And it just makes you shake your head, man. It's such vanity. You got nothing to work for, nothing to look forward to. You don't know, you know in your heart, man, that you are not in the will of the Creator. You know, you got to know in your heart. You're talking about the earth. You're not talking about the spiritual. You're not speaking with any overstanding. And that's the world we live in. That is the world we live in. All right, so brethren, that's the best that I can do. You know, I want to give thanks for the Creator. I want to give thanks to the Creator for this opportunity to try to minister and try to be a light and to share. And Creator, thank you for these words and showing us how your children are, that they are indeed in your eyesight different than the world that we are currently inhabiting. You've given us the knowledge to let us know the purpose for our lives, and you showing us the seriousness of the election that you have put us under, and how we shouldn't take our faith for granted. We don't take it for granted. And so, Creator, I pray that according to whatever we need to know to make us better servants and try to deal with one another and righteousness and truth and love and wisdom, that you give us all these things so that we may serve better one another. So again, Creator, thank you for your word. Pray for my brethren. Pray that we can endure the things that are coming on the earth. We know that we're in a time of great AGI. We know that we're in a time of the end of the kingdom of man, in the beginning of the kingdom, your kingdom, brotherhood of man on earth. We don't know what's going to come to pass after November 19th, but I pray that you prepare us for whatever your will is. So, brethren, that's the best I can do. Thank you for joining me. You bless my soul. Pray that the Creator will allow us to join together tomorrow for another video of the Creator willing. And until I see you again, peace be unto you, brethren. Shalom.